She believed the law could save every lost kid until it put handcuffs on her brother. The port city shimmered with salt and heat, while Helena wore purpose like armor and ran case to case. She left a note on the fridge for Caio. "Love you, eat something, be safe, I'll be late," and kissed the air where his head would be. He was 15, stubborn, soft-hearted, the kind who saved stray dogs and hid his dreams under sarcasm. He teased her about her courtroom shoes while shoveling toast, and she flicked water at him and laughed anyway. Their apartment hummed with love and friction. Textbooks stacked like hopeful towers beside a scuffed skateboard. New sneakers, too clean, glowed on his bed. And there was extra cash in the cereal box, as if breakfast had learned secrets. Helena's voice tried to be gentle, but came out like a gavel. "You're smarter than this. Come back to me, now." He flinched and looked away the way boys do when pride tries to swallow fear. She set a plate in front of him and touched his shoulder like a promise that refuses to break. Older boys on a motorbike buzzed the corner nights later, and Caio's eyes followed like moths chasing neon. He shrugged, said, "Relax, sis, it's just noise," and she flicked water at him and laughed anyway. The phone shrieked near midnight, a violent robbery, a teen detained, and the hallway stretched until it felt like a tunnel. The station light was cruel white. Caio sat with a split lip, wrists cuffed to steel that smelled like old rain. The grainy screen replayed a red helmet, a trembling shopkeeper, a flash of fear like lightning trapped in glass. He whispered, "I was just lookout," and shut his mouth on every name that could burn him. Helena's voice broke on the word "just," as if the syllables could change the weight of a crime. She begged officers for mercy, but rules were bricks, and tonight the wall did not move. The oath she loved looked back without recognition, and she remembered the first time Caio held her hand at their parents' burial. She leaned close and said, "I'm here. I'm not leaving," even when the floor felt like it would. She reached for the file, and her mentor closed the door with a calm, "No, conflict of interest. You can't take it." She stood in the gallery while a stranger spoke for the person she had taught to tie his shoes. Caio stared at the table and muttered, "Maybe I'm just another file to you," and the room tilted. She brought books and a sandwich cut into triangles the way he liked when they were small. He wouldn't take her hand at first. Then he did, and didn't let go. A cheap phone buzzed at home. "Tell him to keep quiet," said the glow without letters that would stand up in court. She sank into a chair and felt anger bloom like a storm. Someone older, someone hungry wanted his silence. An augment clerk slid her a copy of footage, the angle different, the knife in someone else's hand, the blur still heavy. She walked it to the prosecutor, not her case, not her win, just the truth, pressed into daylight. At visitation at Glass, she breathed, "We both messed up. I spoke like a judge when I should have been your sister." He nodded, eyes wet like a boy pretending he is not one, and whispered, "I was scared of what happens after court." She tried to buy him time with bad jokes, and he actually laughed, a short, cracked sound that felt like sunrise. Rafael from the office met her outside with coffee and a gaze that said, "I see you even when you're breaking." He told her, "You fight like a lighthouse," and she almost smiled, because some lights refuse to rest. He confessed he burned the coffee, and she pretended it was gourmet, and they both needed the silliness like oxygen. He stood beside her at the bus stop and didn't talk until she wanted words. Night folded them in, and the street hummed like a lullaby that forgot some notes. Protective. She texted Caio, "Sleep, and dream of mornings." And he responded a tiny okay that felt like a flag. A new video could lighten Caio's charge and put a target on his back. Will she risk everything to show it? The updated footage shifted the horizon. He was complicit, not the aggressor, and the courtroom breathed for the first time. The sentence landed. Youth facility. Months, not years. Still a weight, but one he could lift with time. Helena watched the gate close like a slow eyelid and decided not to pull strings, not to cheat what he needed to learn. On his next visit, his spine had changed. He was journaling, studying, asking questions that opened doors. He said, "I want to help kids before the street names them," and the room brightened without lights. She slid him a paperback with her notes in the margins, and he grinned like a secret sunrise. They remembered the dog they saved when they were small, and both laughed until the guard looked amused. Raphael from the office waited outside the facility with 2 coffees and a quiet, "We can walk if you want." She took his arm, not because she needed a pillar, but because it felt like home to lean. He brushed rain from her hair, and it felt like a promise wrapped in ordinary tenderness. A puddle ambushed them, and they hopped it badly and nearly fell, and then actually laughed like kids. Reverently, on the rooftop later, they watched the port lights flicker like faithful stars and said nothing holy. He asked, "Who holds you when you're holding everyone else?" And she let the question loosen the knot in her chest. She answered, "Maybe you." And the wind applauded softly against the rails. She decided love would not be a shortcut, but a spine she could stand on while doing the hard thing right. Grateful, Caio passed a practice test and wrote her a note, all block letters, "Thank you for not giving up." She drew a gold star beside his name and texted, "Don't get used to it," and he sent 3 laughing emojis that felt like healing. Raphael cooked dinner badly, and she ate every imperfect bite like a prayer of gratitude. She lit a candle for their parents, and for every kid whose mugshot looks like a mirror. She learned to say no to cases when her heart was smoke, and to say yes when she had clean air to give. Some nights she cried in the shower, where the water could carry what words could not. Most mornings, she stood up anyway, shoulders square, breath slow, oath intact. The film of their lives didn't promise easy, it promised earned, and they were earning it together. On visiting day, Caio pressed his palm to hers through glass and quietly said, "I'm coming home different." She smiled, the kind that breaks and mends at the same time, and answered, "I'll be here, the same and new." Raphael slipped his hand in hers as the sun burned down to gold, and the city seemed to nod yes. They walked forward 3 shadows long and 1 story wide, and the future sounded like footsteps that knew where they were going. If you're still here, your heart's as stubborn as theirs. Stay close. More stories are waiting to be found and forgiven. You're watching Romantic TV. Subscribe now for cinematic love that fights back. Tap the bell so you don't miss the miracle. Drop a violet in the comments if the reunion hit your heart.